Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host AirsoftAl, and today we talk about a $30 action camera. Yes, you heard correctly, a $30 action camera that you can actually buy at your local Walmart. The camera I'm talking about is the Vivitar 783 HD DVR. And what does the DVR mean? Not a fucking clue, but we'll find out. Now, before getting any further into this, I do have to bring up something about the SD card, because apparently this did not want to work with the SD cards that I use for my GoPros, and even after reformatting the majority of them, they still did not want to work with this. And it's not, depending on the class, it's the specific SD card, which getting the SD card in there is a pain in the ass. Just go ahead and use my comb here to actually press down on it, so that you can actually, there we go. It's this specific SD card, which apparently is supposed to come with a SD card, micro to large SD card adapter for when you're plugging into your laptop. Now, I hate that it has to be a specific SD card. Am I putting it in the wrong way? Yes, I am. What the fuck? But that's just how things work. And another thing, if you go and plug this into your laptop and certain programs used for editing starts making it look like it's being played off of fucking 90s TV, TV from the 90s, and it's kind of like messing up all that good jazz like it's a VCR, that's normal for certain editing programs because the editing program has a hard time reading the format, which records in AVI format instead of the standard MP4 format. Now, granted, this would be my thing, but it's how it is. Anyway, with those big things out of the way, let's talk about the camera itself. It is a small, compact camera, which is actually smaller than my GoPro. Sort of. It's not as bulky as the GoPro Hero, which I'm recording on right now, but it's still there. And there are a lot of things I gotta go through, so let's go ahead and go through them, shall we? When turning on the camera, you have to actually hold down this, the power button. At which point you'll get this nice little welcome thing, and then of course the actual thing itself. Now, let's go ahead and go through the three main features you actually get. This switch right here controls what you get, which you do get a playback, but no actual external audio. You do have a microphone here, which I'll get into in a second. So, putting it up puts on the photo, which to access the menu, let me actually come around the camera so you can actually see this to the best of my abilities. The camera screen itself, you have this, which shows the quality, which pressing OK takes you to the main menu. Resolution, I've got on standard. I've got on the highest for my camera for taking pictures, which, by the way, in order for you to go back, you're supposed to press this, the picture button. Pressing that goes back. Quality, of course, you do get fine, super fine, and normal. I'm going to go with super fine. Metering, I don't know what this is, so we'll just go ahead and go back. White balance, you want to keep that on auto because it actually helps out. And a lot of other things that I don't know about when it comes to cameras. But the effects is where things get normal. You get normal, black and white, sepia tone. Black and white basically does black and white. Sepia tone. And negative, which gives you that weird thing. Red, green, blue. Basically all these are what kind of things you want to do. Date stamp, if you want that, you can get that, but we'll press back. Now going down, going to the middle, puts us here. Now once again, same thing. Movie size, I went with the 480p because that's what I'm used to recording in. And then of course you got 720p, which is Ultra HD, but we'll stay with 480. The record intervals you can set for whatever really. You can set for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but we won't. Metering once again, and once again you have the white balance, and the effects and date stamp. But that's just how it is. And really, that's all you need to know when it comes to the controls. But what's actually cool about this is that if you press up on the up arrow, or back on the down arrow, that's your zoom function. So you can literally zoom in, like that, and then zoom back. Which, don't worry, I did actually do a little bit of test footage, which you'll be seeing in a bit. Let's go ahead and do the zoom in standard definition, 480p. That nice... Oops, sorry, kitten. Didn't mean to step on your tail. Yes. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Make that as you will. I am shooting in the 720p configuration now. Yes, you can see that high definition and kitty.
High definition kitten. Yes, it's my kitty. Why, your kitty? It's so adorable.
Cool part is this thing does have low light resolution, which is actually really nice. You can see up in there in my little cubby. And over there. And of course, my high definition self, which I have to have the camera a little farther away because apparently this thing has a fixed lens. Now, here's the thing about this camera though. It doesn't give you an audible beep or otherwise telling you when you're recording, or even a flashing light in the front or even in the back here. You're gonna have to do what you're supposed. You're gonna have to do what I did and actually visually look at it when you're pressing it, and then put it on. Let me just go ahead and turn this off so I'm not wasting battery. But you have to hold that down and it gives you a nice little goodbye screen right there, which I do like. Now, besides the camera itself, there are attachments that do come with it. The attachments are as follows. You do get a helmet mount and strap, which comes with this nice little bit right here, which you're supposed to put under for when you actually do it, so that way it helps protect the helmet itself, which, the way you do this, let me grab the helmet, the way you do it is sort of like a unicorn fashion. You're supposed to loop, god damn it, okay. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to loop it in through the air holes here on the helmet, like that, basically. Then, of course, tie them on the inside. And once that's done, you can have it either set up on top here, which would be your basic right there, which is your unicorn style. Or you can have it like this, where it's sort of semi-close to the actual eyesight you want it at. However, sad news though, this will not take GoPro standard mounts. You need the specific mounts that come with this. Why? Because the mounts themselves are too narrow. When comparing it to the actual GoPro mounts, which let me just go ahead and line it up with the camera here, they're a bit narrow in aspect. But don't worry. There's a solution to this, which is simply don't use it. Keep the strap though, that can be useful for something else. The second mount you actually get is one of these. These are the actual mounts you're going to need for the action cam, which if you ever used a camera, you basically screw that onto the camera itself. Now the weird thing is that you can put a GoPro on this, but the big issue I have has to be the design flaws you get with this, because this is a design flaw you're going to have to grind down with your sander or something else entirely in order for it to actually work. And before you ask, no, this doesn't work well with GoPro mounts. It's too short once again. But you can take this off and actually mount it onto your other GoPro attachments because it's a standard GoPro linking system right there, which I found really great, and honestly, a bravo to you to that. Besides that, you have your waterproof casing, which, depending on the footage, you might hear sound, you might not, but don't worry, if I don't hear any sound in the footage behind, I will do a video talking about how to actually make this into a skeletal back, or at least give you the ability to have sound. I am the very model of a modern Major General. I am a very God damn it. I can't sing the song of a modern Major General. I really can't, folks. But I hope you can hear me through the waterproof lens there. Because believe me, if you don't, that means I'm going to have to show you how to modify it so you can actually hear me. Okay? Okay. Now before you ask if there is a skeletal back, no. This back does not come off. Fantastic, right? Well, no worries. And the final mount is your handlebar mount, which in reality we're not going to use for handlebars, we're actually going to use for this. As well as this semi-skeletal back, I want to call it, where you can literally have that mount right there for your selfie cam. And it does hold on very tight. I'm talking, I had to actually put a lot of force in order to get this over so I could actually see past it. Which, no worries, if you do, you can just attach this to a mount, another mount, which can actually go onto this, or even attach your GoPro to this mount, because once again, this is compatible with basically all GoPros. which I find very nice. And for $30, they give you a lot to work with in terms of camera attachments and otherwise. I like that. Speaking of attachments, you're immediately asking, okay, what if I want to run it like a helmet cam, POV cam? Well, no worries. If you have GoPro attachments or you have something similar to it, you can actually, let me go ahead and just take this off here.
There are attachments that you can buy. Now, take that off there.
Here's the thing. There are attachments out there that you can buy that actually does work, which, by the way, just snapping it in, fucking works just fine. So let's go ahead and go with this first one. This is an ion mount, which is meant for the side ion cameras, those action cams, basically. But with this, you can do more with it. So let me just reach into my pocket real quick, my cargo pocket, and actually go for my summer kit. The kit I got. The kit I got for my birthday was a kit you can actually buy at Walmart for a little less. What you want to do is you want to actually have this on here, kind of somewhat straight. Start screwing that in.
Make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. And from this point, you can actually attach the camera like so. Have it somewhat centered, I guess. Have it somewhat angled so you can actually have it like this, more or less.
There we go. And of course, let me just go ahead and throw this onto my cap so you guys can actually see this. And voila. Basically have it at an angle like that. And voila. You have yourself a camera that's angled down. Now, I didn't wear my cap when I wore this, but here's some of the test footage from that. Now, say you want it to be a little bit closer to your cap, and you're not wearing a ball cap. Well, okay, take this off. Throw on a standard GoPro link right there, which you can buy at Walmart, or online, depending on where you want to buy it. Then throw this in, throw this on, which you can adjust it however you want, which I'm going to have it like that. There we go. There we go. And voila. You have yourself a basic closer camera. And while, yes, it may seem weird at first, you can get used to it, but it is going to be there in your peripheral vision. So unless you're throwing this on your helmet, then yeah, no problem there. Speaking of the helmet, actually, go ahead and take this off now. When actually putting it on the helmet, it actually does line up fairly well with the helmet mount, which I do like that. I do like that it does that. But yeah, here's some of the test footage from that. From not only this, but also from the helmet mount itself. Now besides that, of course, you can actually throw this, like I said, on your gun as a selfie cam. To be honest, I'm one who believes in being the common man's airsofter. And with all the test footage, all the footage, all that, I'm content with this. Because honestly, it was $30. It works well, and I'm very happy with it. But I'm going to let you guys decide if you would actually use this. Vivitar has actually been kind of getting a good stigma as of late for being the common man's, well, budget GoPro. And to be frank, I gotta agree with them on that. They do work out fairly well for what they need to be. Hell, the fact that this is actually compatible with a lot of GoPro mounts, such as this GoPro headband here, I can safely say for a fact that this is well worth the money, in my opinion. Well, granted, that's just my opinion. And while I don't do scores for attachments or equipment, I will say this. Something like this that will actually be good for you for when you need to go out there and you need to actually get some footage, or for if you're just wanting a camera for vacation photos, then you know what? That's just how it is. Either way, though. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAl, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Till next time.